And I'm back, and we're about to review Rocky 4. So I've been doing the Rocky series, and we are up to part 4 from 1985, starring Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, Talia Shire, Burt Young, Dolph Lundgren, Bridget Nielsen, uh, Tony Burton, Michael Pataki, and so this one has it takes place right after, like I said, all the Rockies start off with the last movie, and we're about to finally see who won the secret fight between Rocky and Apollo, the Rocky Apollo 3, and we never find out, at least not for now. So that's a little hint. In the future, you might find out. Anyways, he comes home, and uh, his son wants to know, like, who hit him. He's like, a friend, and because you're not fighting again, blah blah blah. Anyways, it's Paulie's birthday, and we get the most odd present from Rocky and Adrian to Paulie. It's a computerized, like an android robot that is instructed basically to uh take care of Paulie, because Paulie has no friends. We love Paulie, but Paulie has no friends. So it's an odd scene. I would have gone with a different choice, but it is what it is. It's comical at best. Then we break off to see what Apollo's doing in life now. He's swimming in his pool with his dogs, and an announcement comes on the radio that Russia is about to invade the boxing world. And Ivan Drago, we get introduced, who plays by Dolph Lundgren, is coming to America to compete for the first time professionally. He's a world amateur champion, and his wife, uh, Ilama Drago, I'm probably butchering her name, is a double gold medalist in swimming. So, they're both very skilled athletes. But Apollo has this, I don't want to say prejudice, but he has this us against them mentality. We're the mighty United States, and he feels that Russia, while they have great athletes, they don't belong in the boxing ring. So Apollo comes up with this crazy idea to come out of retirement to show this rookie the ropes, like, not to train him, but to show him that you don't belong here. And he tries to convince Rocky to train him, because Apollo did Rocky a favor by training him, so he feels like Rocky is almost Rocky owes him. He doesn't say it like that, but without the Warriors might as well be dead, right? That's what he says to Stallion, and we get a funny look at Apollo's reaction to Paulie's girlfriend, now girlfriend android, because he reprogrammed it to take care of him and speak nice to him and speak female to him. So it's a great reaction from Apollo, because Apollo's all in this serious zone, and then it's like, what the hell is that? Like, anyways, I'm getting off the subject. So he convinces Rocky to train him against Adrian's wishes. As always, Adrian is always the mind of reason. But when you have a guy who's been retired, who misses the spotlight, also, it's not just about showing this youngster how to box. It's about, he misses the cheers. He's like, retirement's too quiet, and he's right. He says that in part 3 to Rocky, retirement's quiet. And so I think he wants to prove to himself also that he still has what it guts. So there's a big press conference, and as usual, Apollo puts on the show. We've seen this in the past, and we get introduced to Dolph Lundgren for the first time, Bridget Nielsen, and their manager, played by Michael Pataki, who's great in this, by the way. Michael Pataki's character is great. And he basically calls Apollo a has-been. So it goes from a funny thing to a real serious note right away. So we finally come, Apollo trains, we come to the fight, and it's a spectacle like always with Apollo. He comes out to James Brown singing the song "Living in America," which made it huge, by the way. That movie really did wonders. I mean, James Brown's awesome anyways, but it's a cool little cameo for James Brown, and "Living in America" is pushing the point of boxing is American, and I think that's what Apollo was going for, intimidation factor. Yeah, because this kid's never seen like the stars and the spotlight, and so Apollo's giving it to him Apollo style, and we finally come to the fight, and at first Apollo looks great, but we find out later on that basically Drago is toying with him, making him look good, and then all of a sudden he gets that one scream from one of his side managers, and we see the power of Drago. As we've seen earlier, like I forgot to mention Drago's training quarters. They show basically the enhancements of all the advancements they have made towards body chemistry. And Apollo's punching power is on display in that training session. And they're like, how do you explain his freak of strength? And Bridget Nielsen has a great, just like your Popeye. He eats spinach every day. Anyways, so we see the power on display in the fight, and after round one, you feel bad for Apollo because he really believed that he was gonna show a lot better than he does, and he looks at Rocky wants to stop it. He says, you can't stop fight this no matter what. And he reiterates no matter what. So he doesn't want. He's saying to Rocky, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down a warrior. And round two starts, and it's a brutal beating. And even at one point, Apollo's wife stands up and screams, "Stop the fight!" And you hear Apollo in the ring, no, and Rocky has the towel in his hand, and everybody's telling him, but he made a promise. This is what people get mad at. Like, why didn't Rocky did exactly what Apollo wanted. Apollo wanted to go down swinging. He wanted to go down a warrior, and if that meant dying, like I get mad when and I understand that people wanted to protect Apollo, but I think Apollo would live in shame, and there's no worse way of living life. So although it's a very tragic scene, we watch the last of Apollo Creed, and it gets really personal when they're interviewing Drago after he looks like he's in pretty bad shape over there. And Apollo utters those words that cringe down every single person. If he dies, he dies. Now Rocky, he's left with no choice. Like, he doesn't even consult Adrian on this one. He has no choice but to get vengeance. And so he basically declares the fight right away. And the press conference, and they said that this is going to take place in Russia. So now Rocky has to go to hostile territories and face almost what looks like an unbeatable machine. This is like the Terminator version of a boxer. And of course, Adrian is shocked to find out that Rocky did it because she didn't know about the press conference. And so she stays up and confronts Rocky about this, and Adrian says those words that Rocky never thought he would hear. But Adrian's always been truthful with him about her feelings. You can't win. She goes, even if you win, what have you won? Apollo's still gone. And then that's when she said, you can't win. You've seen him. You've seen how strong he is. You can't win. And that look that Rocky gives, he says, maybe I can't win. Maybe all I can do is take everything he's got. But to beat me, he's going to have to kill me. Strong words. Like, those words hit hard, especially when, like, Adrian hears them. And then, of course, we get one of our Rocky montages. No Easy Way Out, was a great song. This, I will say, this soundtrack is epic. I've loved all the soundtracks, but this one, we have John Cafferty, we have Survivor, we have 2 Survivor songs, we have James Brown. I mean, this is a packed soundtrack. So Rocky goes to Russia with Duke, that's Apollo's former trainer, and Paulie goes with them. Adrian decides not to go. And, Rocky starts training. He does the old school hard terrain, in your face training, and we see a split image of Drago doing the high technology in the gym. Everything's heated, everything's electronical. Oh, and by the way, so drug use. I can't say that too loud because YouTube doesn't like that. But we see some performing enhancing stuff involved here. So, after Rocky's first major workout, we cut, and it looks like it's been a couple weeks, and now Rocky has a full-fledged beard, and so we see Adrian, and once again, that's all Rocky needs. Just like in part 2, when Rocky needed Adrian's blessing, and then in part 3, when Adrian gave him that, like, in-your-face pep talk, all it takes is Adrian. We all need an Adrian in our life, don't we, guys? So now we get another musical montage, and man, this montage sends chills how motivated Rocky is. And we have that one epic scene when he's getting chased by his so-called escorts, the guys who monitor everything Rocky does, and he loses them and starts scaling a mountain, and we see a side-by-side of Drago doing like a stair climber, like it's a stair, it's an incline chaser, like he has to run upwards, and then we see Rocky running upwards on the hill, which I thought that was a great side-by-side. And Rocky scales the whole mountain, gets to the top, it's like, Drago! He's ready now. So he gets to the fight now. He enters to a evil crowd. Like, the crowd is totally against him. And Drago does a little almost imitation of his version of intimidation factor with the Russian national anthem and the giant flag of Ivan Drago in the background. Excellent, by the way. I love that whole scene. And now it's Rocky versus, this is like David and Goliath, as the announcers on USA say. This is David versus Goliath. And the fight is great, brutal. And what's amazing is we see the change in how the crowd feels about Rocky, slowly but surely. Every time Rocky gets knocked down, he's getting back up. Like he told Adrian, if Drago wants to beat him, he's going to have to kill him. And we see that in Rocky. We see all the hard work, all the determination, all the love for Apollo coming out. And that last round is to die for. it's a gutter fight. It's a battle of who wants it more, is how they said it. It really is. And Rocky ends up knocking him out, and once again, Rocky Balboa proves victorious. But that speech at the end is something that we need to use in everyday life. He said basically about how he felt about the crowd and how the crowd felt about him. And he goes, in here there was 2 guys killing themselves, but that's better than 20 million. That hits hard. Like, he's basically telling, like, there'd rather be 2 people fighting than 2 countries fighting. That is powerful. So this is a little social statement as well, this movie. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one. This one doesn't rate as high as the other 3, but I'm gonna rate this one at 3.75. It does have some silly scenes, like I said, about the robot, and I mean, I know they were going for comedy value and everything, but it does move a little slow in some scenes. But the fight sequences are great. The social commentary at the end was great. So there's some things that I liked about this movie that I didn't like about the other movies, but then there's some parts of this movie that I wish were like the other parts of the movie. But that makes any sense. But yeah, 3.75. So far this is the lowest rated one, but we still have Rocky 5. We still have Rocky Balboa, which is part 6. We also have the Creed movies, Creed 1, 2, and 3. So we got a lot more coming, guys. But Rocky 3, Rocky 4, and next, Rocky 5. Much love.